Right after work, I ran into a college classmate at the subway station. He asked me, after all these years, when would I forgive Qinghan? Qinghan was my childhood sweetheart. 5 years ago, we nearly got married. But at our engagement party, the night before we were to register our marriage, she called off the wedding in front of everyone. She said she refused to be a stand-in for the woman I had always loved. She wished me and that woman a lifetime of happiness. Then she took her graduate school senior by the hand and walked away. Confused, I tried to explain. I had never had any so-called old flame. Yet she left me utterly shattered. In the end, I left Jingbai. Qinghan has always had feelings for you. She said that if you had not had an old flame and treated her as a substitute, she would have married you long ago. Now, as long as you're willing to admit you were wrong, she can give your relationship another chance. Give it another chance? I laughed. My child is already 3. What relationship is there to rekindle? Yi Tengsheng's mouth fell open in a perfect O. An egg could have fit inside. He stared at me blankly, as though I had told him a wild fantasy. You're married, he stammered, and your child is already in preschool. I nodded, unwilling to waste another word. I turned to leave. He grabbed me with shocking force. Impossible. Li Chuan, you're lying to me, right? He was visibly agitated, drawing stares from everyone waiting nearby. You loved Qinghan so much. Everyone in Jingbai knew it. For her, you even gave up your guaranteed admission to a top university. How could you possibly marry someone else? I frowned, hearing him bring up those long-buried memories. Felt nothing but ironic. I did love Qinghan. I loved her enough to give up everything for her. I shot back, but that is all in the past. Why would I lie to you? My indifference seemed to provoke him. Then who is your wife? What does she do? Is she as pretty as Qinghan? Does she come from as good a family? I ignored him and tried to shake off his hand, but he gripped me even tighter. Li Chuan, are you just acting out of spite? I know what happened back then hurt you, but 5 years have passed. You should be over it by now. Do you know what Qinghan has been through these past 5 years? He continued without waiting for an answer, his voice full of pride. After taking over the Gu Group, she carried out bold reforms. The Gu Group's market value has tripled. She has become the business world's most talked about rising star. She has remained faithful to you. Other than Ding Wang, her work partner, she has not had a single man by her side. Everyone says she is devoted. She wasted 5 years on a man who did not know how to cherish her. The Qinghan he described was both devoted and powerful, like the perfect tragic heroine. But listening to him made me sick. I remembered that before I left Jingbai, I received a phone call. It was from Qinghan's mother. Her voice was as gentle and polite as ever, yet carried an unmistakable detachment. Chuan, dear, I know you have been wronged. She sighed softly on the other end. Qinghan was spoiled by us. She is far too impulsive. She comforted me at first, then changed the subject. But then again, when young people are dating, a few little disagreements are normal. Qinghan's career is just taking off, and she is under great pressure. What she needs is a man at her side, one who can support and guide her. I held the phone in silence. I understood what she really meant. I've met Ding Wang a few times. He is refined and steady. He is highly accomplished academically, and he and Qinghan have so much in common. He is also a great help to her career. Miss Gu's voice was soft, but every word struck my heart. As for you, being lively is a good thing, but given Qinghan's position, her future husband needs to be dignified and well-behaved. Know his place. So, in her eyes, all my passion and vitality made me improper. I had grown up in the Gu household. She watched me grow up and treated me like her own son. But when it truly mattered, 20 years of affection meant less than being useful to her career. In the eyes of families like theirs, a suitable family background and career advantages will always matter more than childhood love. I said nothing then. I simply hung up in silence. Then I blocked every member of their family. Li Chuan, are you even listening to me? Seeing that I had drifted off, Yi Tengsheng gave me an annoyed shove. Qinghan treated you so well. Now, you've married an ordinary woman. Can you really accept that? Don't you regret it? I looked at him, as if he were an idiot. I'm very happy. I told him clearly, word by word. No one needs to worry about my life. With that, I gave him no chance to keep pestering me. I wrenched free and walked away. After I left Jingbai, I cut myself off completely from that old circle. I changed my number and my address and moved to a new city. So they all believed I was still stuck where I was, waiting for that lofty woman to turn back and save me. But they did not know. My life had long since begun a new chapter, and Qinghan was nothing more than a typo blotted out on the previous page. The train reached my stop. I got off and headed into the preschool near my home. Through the fence, I saw my son playing on the slide with his classmates. His face lit up with a brilliant smile. A breathtakingly beautiful woman approached him and lifted him into her arms. It was my wife, Ruyan. When she saw me, she smiled too. Holding our son, she walked toward me. "Why are you home so early today?" She naturally took my hand. "I missed you both, so I came home early." Smiling, I pinched my son's chubby cheek. My son snuggled against me, calling Daddy in his sweet little voice. The warmth of that moment could fend off all the world's coldness. Regret? What could I possibly regret? Qinghan and I were neighbors who grew up together from toddlerhood. She was 2 years older and had always protected me. Anyone who dared bully me, she would be the first to rush in and fight them. Everyone said Chuan was the apple of Qinghan's eye. Untouchable. I believed we would stay that way forever. From school uniforms to wedding dresses. Until Wang appeared. He was Qinghan's senior from graduate school. A gentle, refined man. He began frequently appearing around Qinghan under the guise of academic discussions. They studied in the library and worked on projects together, and attended academic forums together. At first, I did not mind. There had never been a shortage of impressive men around Qinghan, but I was the only one in her eyes. I had complete faith in her. The first time I felt uneasy was at a gathering with friends. We were playing Truth or Dare. Wang lost and chose Dare. His dare was to reveal a secret about someone there. His gaze swept across the room, then settled on me, his face full of apology. "Chuan, I'm sorry. I'm going to reveal your secret." He smiled, his tone innocent. The other day, I happened to see Chuan's phone wallpaper. It was a photo of him with another girl. She was so pretty. I wonder who she was. Everyone's eyes instantly turned to me. Some also turned to Qinghan. The smile on Qinghan's face faded. "She's my older cousin," I immediately explained. "She passed away 2 years ago. That is our only photo together." "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Wang hurriedly apologized. "I didn't know. I truly didn't mean to." He looked utterly remorseful. Everyone else quickly tried to smooth things over, and the matter seemed to pass. But when we got home that night, Qinghan still brought it up. "Your cousin. Why have you never mentioned her? She was always in poor health. She spent years abroad receiving treatment, so of course you never met her." I handed her my phone. In the photo, a young girl leaned against a hospital bed. Her face was pale, but her smile was gentle. I stood beside her, grinning like an idiot. "Look, we even resemble each other a little." Qinghan looked at it for a long time. Finally, she gave my phone back. "Yes, you do look alike." Outwardly, she seemed to believe me, but I could feel that she had planted a seed of doubt in her heart. After that, Wang would always, in front of Qinghan, casually bring me up. "Qinghan, Chuan has such a great personality. He has so many friends. Unlike me, my circle is so small." "Qinghan, yesterday, I saw Chuan at the movies with a girl. He's so popular." "Qinghan, is Chuan about to graduate? He loves having fun so much. Can he adapt to a 9-to-5 job?" He never insulted me directly. Every remark sounded like praise, yet everyone seemed to imply something else. That I had too many female friends. That I was frivolous and not steady enough. Qinghan became suspicious and jealous. It led to our first vicious argument. It started at an academic dinner. Qinghan insisted on bringing me. At the dinner, I ran into a mentor from the company where I had interned. I chatted with her a little longer, and Qinghan's face instantly went cold. She left me alone in the banquet hall and walked out. I followed her and found her in the parking lot. "Qinghan, what are you losing it over now?" "I'm losing it." She gave a cold laugh. "Chuan, when you were laughing and chatting with another woman right in front of me, did you ever consider my feelings? She's my mentor. We were discussing work." "Do you need to smile that happily to discuss work?" she roared. I looked at her face, twisted by jealousy, and felt only estranged and exhausted. "You're completely unreasonable." "I'm unreasonable." She seized my wrist. "Do you think I'm too controlling? Do you think I'm not as good as your dead cousin, so gentle and considerate?" She had brought up my cousin again. I shook all over with rage. "Qinghan, "You're a bastard." I tore free from her grasp and ran away crying. That time, we gave each other the silent treatment for a long while. I thought our relationship had developed cracks. I never imagined it was only the beginning of the end. After a week of silence between Gu Qinghan and me, she did not contact me, and I did not reach out to her. Before, whenever we fought, within 3 days at most, she would always come apologize and coax me. This time, she didn't. I was still burning with resentment, but our engagement party was close. I thought she would come find me eventually. The night before the engagement party, I received a message from Wang. It was a photograph. In it, a drunk Gu Qinghan leaned against his shoulder. She was fast asleep, while Wang tilted his head slightly toward hers. A victor's smile curved his lips. Below the photo was a line of text. "She's suffering inside. You should be more understanding." The photo left me deeply unsettled, but I still reassured myself. She had only had too much to drink. Wang was only taking care of her. On the day of our engagement party, I wore a suit, planning to surprise her by making up first. I found her in the lounge. She wore a custom designer gown, so beautiful that no one could look away. When she saw me, her eyes flickered away. "Qinghan." I stepped forward, reaching for her hand. "Can we stop fighting?" But she reacted as if shocked. She violently flung my hand away. The force made me stagger, nearly falling. I stared at her in disbelief. Guests gradually entered the hall. The MC was ready on stage. As the stars of the evening, we took our places at the front. The spotlight fell on us. I forced out a smile, trying to preserve the appearance of peace. But Gu Qinghan could not even be bothered to pretend. Her face remained cold throughout. She would not even look at me. When the MC asked us to exchange rings, the killing blow came. She threw off my hand again. In front of every guest, she fixed me with an icy stare and demanded, treating me like a stand-in. Was fun, was it? The entire room erupted in uproar. My mind buzzed, and I was utterly stunned. "Qinghan, what are you talking about? Don't you know perfectly well?" With a cold laugh, she pulled a letter from her suit pocket. The stationery was pink and perfumed. Obviously the kind a girl would use. "What is this?" I asked. "This is the love letter you wrote to the woman you've always longed for," she shouted furiously. Wang found it in my study. She unfolded the letter and read it aloud before everyone. Those intimate, sickeningly sweet words, read from her lips, cut into my heart like blade after blade. "I didn't." I frantically explained that I had not written it. "You didn't write it." Gu Qinghan smiled cruelly. "Handwriting can be copied, but the perfume scent on this paper is exactly the same as the one you wear." "Li Chuan, how long are you going to keep up this act?" The sudden accusation and humiliation left me reeling. I looked at my parents' shocked faces below the stage, the ashen faces of Gu Qinghan's parents, and the guests' contemptuous, pitying stares. I felt like a complete joke. After Gu Qinghan finished reading the letter, she viciously crumpled it into a ball and flung it hard into my face. Then she took out the engagement ring and smashed it onto the floor. "I wish you and your true love a lifetime of happiness." She enunciated every word with icy clarity. Then she took Wang's hand. He stood beside her, pretending to mediate, but the triumph in his eyes was impossible to hide, and strode away beneath everyone's sympathetic gazes. In that moment, my world came crashing down. The debacle at the engagement party made me a laughingstock throughout Jingbi's social circle. Everyone called me a promiscuous man, stringing along the Gu family erewhile, still clinging to my old flame. Rumors flooded over me like a rising tide. The Gu family offered no explanation and let the rumors spread. I became the gold-digging man who would stop at nothing to marry into wealth, only to suffer the consequences himself. The Gu family and Gu Qinghan had utterly broken my heart. I did not offer a single explanation, because I knew that someone who no longer trusted me would not believe anything I said. I deleted every contact and closed all my social media accounts. Alone, I bought a one-way ticket out of Jingbi, in the city where I had lived for 20 years. There was not one thing left worth holding on to. Yi Tangsheng must have told Gu Qinghan that I was married and had a child. My phone began to be bombarded by calls from unfamiliar numbers. Some were local, others came from Jingbi. Calls and messages came one after another. I ignored them all and blocked every number. She seemed to have been driven to desperation. A few days later, just as I left my office building, someone blocked my path. It was Gu Qinghan. 5 years had stripped away her youthful innocence. She had grown more mature and beautiful, but her features carried a heavy air of hostility. She stared at me relentlessly. Her eyes were red and bloodshot. Why didn't you answer my calls? Her voice was hoarse, as though she had not rested properly in a long time. I said nothing and tried to walk past her. She grabbed my arm. Her grip was so strong it felt as though she would crush my bones. Li Chuan, I'm asking you a question, she roared. Her grip hurt badly and I frowned. We're nothing to each other now. Please let go. My distance and indifference enraged her. She questioned me like a madwoman. Nothing to each other. You make it sound so easy. You vanished for 5 years without a word. And now you have a child and married someone else. What do you take me for? Her accusations sounded utterly ridiculous to me. You would rather marry some ordinary woman who came from who knows where. Then come back and explain a single thing to me. She looked at me with red-rimmed eyes. Li Chuan, did you ever love me at all? She was asking whether I loved her. After she used a forged letter to humiliate me before everyone. After she let rumors destroy me, without caring what became of me. After she and Wang spent 5 carefree years appearing everywhere as a couple. She came to demand why I did not love her. I looked at her pained expression, but felt nothing. If anything, I found it ironic. Back then, I was the one standing on that stage, mocked by everyone, isolated and helpless. I was the one who should have asked that question. Qinghan, did you ever love me? If you loved me, how could you trust an outsider? Instead of the bond we shared for 20 years. I looked coldly at Qinghan. Ms. Gu, please let go. My polite, distant form of address made her whole body shudder. Ms. Gu, she murmured, then recoiled as if stabbed. Her emotions became even more volatile. What did you call me? Li Chuan, say it again. Her grip on my wrist tightened further. You owe me an explanation. There is nothing to explain between us. I coldly tried to shake off her hand, but failed. She was far too strong. As we struggled, a sweet little voice called out, Daddy. I turned and saw my son running out from the company entrance. Like a happy little butterfly, he rushed into my arms with his arms wide open. He held up a picture he had just drawn. 3 crayon figures held hands on the page. Daddy, look. This is you, Mommy, and me. I instantly broke free of Qinghan's grip, crouching down to hug my son. Lele, why did you come out? Mommy said you were off work, so she sent me to pick you up. I looked up and saw Ruyan standing nearby. She was smiling at my son and me. And Qinghan, beside me, looked as though she'd been struck by lightning the instant she saw my son. She froze in place, her face turning deathly pale. Her gaze locked onto the child in my arms. Her lips trembled, but no words came out. Ruyan walked over. She naturally took our son from my arms, then pulled me behind her. She faced Qinghan with a calm, steady gaze. Ma'am, is there something you need? Qinghan seemed to finally come back to herself. Her gaze moved from the child to Ruyan's face, then finally to mine. Her eyes held shock, pain, and disbelief. She watched the scene in agony and murmured, A child? You even have a child? Her voice was so soft, yet filled with despair. I watched her devastated expression, but felt no satisfaction at all. There was only a barren calm inside me. Yes, I have a child. When she abandoned me and the whole world misunderstood me, at my most desperate and humiliated, I met Ruyan. She pulled me from the mud. She gave me a home. She made me believe again that love is not possession and suspicion, but trust and protection. Qinghan, what you see now is the happiness I fought with all my strength to earn, and I cast you out of my life long ago. Qinghan seemed to go mad. She suddenly stepped forward to grab me. Li Chuan, tell me this isn't real. Before her hand could touch me, Ruyan reached out and stopped her. She simply stood there calmly, an insurmountable barrier between us. Ms. Gu, is it? Ruyan's tone was very polite, but her words carried a clear warning. Please do not disturb my husband and child. My husband. My child. Those words cut Qinghan to the heart. Qinghan's face turned even paler. She looked at me with a humble plea in her eyes. Li Chuan, give me 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes alone to talk. Please. She lowered herself, her voice pleading. 5 years ago, I might have softened, but now, I only found it laughable. I refused outright. No need, Ms. Gu. We have nothing to discuss. With that, I deliberately linked arms with Ruyan, leaning against her. Honey, let's go home. Lele must be hungry. Ruyan gave me a tender smile, then nodded. All right. She held our son, while I held her arm. The three of us turned and left, without giving Gu Qinghan another glance. I could feel that burning, anguished gaze behind me, as if it could scorch through my back. I deliberately spoke to Ruyan, softly, but loud enough for her to hear. Honey, how about sweet and sour ribs for dinner? They're Lele's favorite. All right, I bought fresh ribs this afternoon. I'll make them for you and our son when we get home. Mommy's the best. Lele cheered happily in her arms. The warm conversation between our family of three was like blade after blade piercing Gu Qinghan's heart. I heard a dull thud behind me. I did not turn around, but I knew. She had finally broken down. That once lofty, arrogant heir to the Gu family was now like a dog abandoned by its owner, crouching miserably on the ground. She finally realized that I had truly begun a new life, a life with no place for her at all. And she, along with her ridiculous pride and suspicion, had become a complete joke. Gu Qinghan did not let it go. She found my address. It was pouring rain that night. I was heading home after working late, when I saw that familiar figure downstairs. She stood at the entrance without an umbrella, letting the cold rain soak her to the bone. The moment she saw me, she rushed over and blocked my path. Chuan, do you have to treat me this way? Her eyes were red, and she reeked of alcohol. What did I do wrong? Why are you tormenting me like this? I laughed in anger. Gu Qinghan, what right do you have to question me now? Not one day in the past 5 years have I forgotten you. She screamed in anguish. I've been waiting for you to come back. But what about you? You turned around and married someone else. How could you be so cruel? Rain streamed down her hair, mingling with the tears in her eyes. That look of profound devotion. If Yi Sheng and the others saw it, they would probably be deeply moved again. But it only disgusted me. I enraged her. 5 years of resentment and grievance finally erupted in that moment. Do you dare say you did not write that letter? That woman. Do you dare say you do not know her? Why did you not explain yourself? If only you had come back and said one kind word to me, I would have believed you. The chill of the rainy night was nothing beside the cruelty of her words. She finally pushed me too far. An explanation. I gave a bitter, self-mocking laugh. Did you ever give me a chance to explain? Gu Qinghan. I looked at her and told her the truth, word by word. I never wrote that letter. I had never even heard of what it said. That so-called first love you mentioned, the woman in my phone, was my own cousin. My voice trembled in the rain. She had a heart condition since childhood. She did not make it past 20. Cancer took her life. I went back home for her funeral and did not have my phone with me. And you called countless times demanding to know why I would not answer. You accused me of fooling around with some other woman. Gu Qinghan's face went deathly pale. After that farce at the engagement party, I fell seriously ill and spent half a month in the hospital. I tried to contact you and explain everything, but I found that you had already blocked me. After I left the hospital, I went to your company to find you. But what did I see? I saw you and Wang walking out of the building, laughing together. He had his arm linked with yours like a lover, and you did not reject him. That was when I finally gave up completely. I raised my head and met her shocked, remorseful gaze. Gu Qinghan, you would rather believe fabricated evidence from an outsider than believe in our 20 years together. What was I to you, really? My words struck Gu Qinghan like bolts of lightning. She stood frozen, as though thunderstruck, unable to believe what she had heard. Impossible. She staggered back to steps, tripped over the step beneath her feet, and collapsed into the icy rainwater. She clutched her hair in agony, her whole body shaking. That letter. She looked up, her face full of remorse and pain. It was Wang. He gave me that letter. She began to recall it painfully. He said he had found it by accident in my study. He said he risked telling me because he feared you were deceiving me. He whispered that you had fallen out of love with me long ago, that you had too many female friends, that you were not worthy of marrying into the Gu family. Back then, I was blinded by jealousy and insecurity. She looked at me, her voice filled with desperate pleading. I was so afraid of losing you that I lost all reason. I looked at her coldly, without the slightest emotion. So that was your reason for humiliating me in public? She had finally revealed her ridiculous truth. I regretted it the day after the engagement party. She closed her eyes in pain. After I left you there and walked away alone, I drank alone in a bar all night. When I sobered up, I knew I had been wrong. I was too impulsive. I hurt you, but I was too proud to apologize. She gave a self-mocking smile. I thought you would be like before. No matter how much I made a scene, you would always come and comfort me. I was waiting for you. I kept waiting for you to come find me. But all I got was word that you had vanished for good." She opened her eyes, their bloodshot depths filled with frenzied obsession. "I hated you for being heartless, yet I missed you like crazy. I was only with Ding Wang to spite you. I wanted you to know that I could still live well without you," she explained hysterically. "Nothing ever happened between him and me. We were only a couple in name. You were the only one in my heart." What an absurd excuse. What a pathetic act of spite. Because of her pride that would not let her apologize. Because of her childish spite. Because of her foolish suspicions. And Ding Wang's careful scheming. Our 20 years together became a complete tragedy. I looked at the woman before me, weeping bitterly, and she felt like a stranger. In the end, we had missed our chance. Qinghan broke down. She knelt in the rain, clinging to my leg and sobbing as she apologized. "Chuan, I am sorry. I was wrong. I was truly wrong. Please forgive me. Let's start over. I will cut all ties with Ding Wang immediately. I will destroy everything he has to avenge you. Can we go back to how things were?" Calmly, I pulled her hands away. Rain soaked my hair and clothes. It was cold, but my heart was calmer than ever. "It is too late, Qinghan." I looked down at her. "I have already moved on with my life." Her sobbing stopped abruptly. She looked at me in despair. "I am making this clear today, not to make you regret it, and certainly not to make you take revenge on anyone. I only want to give my lost youth and my late cousin the justice they deserve. From now on, do not disturb my family or me again. That is my only request of her." With that, I did not look at her again. I turned and entered my apartment building. Her heartbroken cries rang out behind me. Later, I heard a few things about her. After she returned, she truly took revenge on Ding Wang like a madwoman. She used the Gu family's influence to ruin his reputation in academia and strip him of everything. But she destroyed herself as well. She began drinking all day and abandoned her career. The Gu Group's stock price plummeted. She even went to find Ruyan, offering her an astronomical sum to leave me. Ruyan drove her away with one punch and warned her that if she harassed us again, she would make her regret ever being born. She never appeared again after that. Several years later, on a bright sunny morning, I took my son to school. In the cafe across from the school gates, through the glass window, I saw a familiar, worn-down figure. It was Qinghan. She had grown much thinner. She sat by the window with an empty stare, holding a cup of coffee. Her eyes were fixed on my son and me. I did not stop. Just then, Ruyan's car pulled over. She got out and walked toward us, a gentle smile on her face. She naturally took the school bag from my hand, then took my hand with her other hand. "Come on. After we drop off Lele, let's go see a movie." "Sure." The three of us, holding hands and smiling, walked into the sunlight. That figure in the cafe was only a faded sight from my past. Then, 1 week later, I received an unexpected call. The caller identification showed an unfamiliar Jingbai number. I had meant to hang up immediately, but for some reason, I answered it. A voice both familiar and strange came from the other end. "Chuan, this is Aunt Gu." It was Mrs. Gu, the woman who had once treated me like her own son, yet when I needed support most, had gently urged me to know my place. My heart sank instantly. "What is it?" My voice gave away no emotion. There was silence on the other end for a few seconds. She clearly had not expected me to be so cold. "Chuan, can we meet?" Her voice sounded weary and cautious. My first instinct was to refuse. I did not want anything more to do with anyone from the Gu family. But what she said next changed my mind. "I know we wronged you back then." She sighed softly. "I do not mean anything else by it. I only want to apologize to you in person." An apology? I was somewhat surprised. From what I knew of her, she cared deeply about pride and her family's honor. For her to humble herself and apologize, something major must have happened. After a moment of silence, I agreed. "Fine, you choose the time and place." I thought it was time to put the past to rest once and for all. We arranged to meet at a tea house near my company. It was quiet and well suited for a conversation. When I arrived, she was already there. After several years apart, even her well-maintained face was marked by unmistakable weariness. Her once impeccably groomed hair even showed a few silver strands at her temples. When she saw me, she forced a smile and rose to her feet. "Chuan, you are here." I nodded and sat across from her. "Mrs. Gu, what did you want to see me about? Just say it. I got straight to the point. My blunt, distant tone made her smile stiffen briefly. She poured me a cup of tea, humbling herself. Chuan, I know you must resent me deeply. She did not look at me. She only lowered her gaze to the teacup before her. I was wrong back then. I should not have believed Wang's side of the story. I should not have said those hurtful things to you. I always saw you as my own son. But when it came to Qinghan, I admit I was selfish. She raised her head, tears unexpectedly glistening in her eyes. I feared love would cloud her judgment and damage her career. I thought Wang's steady nature made him better suited to be the Gu family's son-in-law. I was blind. I failed you. As she spoke, she actually stood up, wanting to bow to me. I did not move. I merely watched her calmly. There is no need for that. I did not accept her apology, because I knew her apology was not sincere. Sure enough, after her tearful confession, she finally revealed her true purpose. Qinghan, she is not going to make it. Her voice choked as tears fell. Ever since she learned the truth about that year, she has shut herself away. She sees no one and drinks all day. She has abandoned the company, and the board is deeply unhappy. A few days ago, she drank until her stomach bled and was hospitalized. She almost did not survive. She wiped her tears with a handkerchief, her face filled with grief. The doctor says she is suffering from emotional trauma. She is consumed by regret. She keeps calling your name. I listened quietly, without the slightest stir in my heart. Had they not brought all of this upon themselves? Chuan, I am begging you. She suddenly grabbed my hand. Her icy fingers trembled slightly from the force of her grip. Please, go see her. Please talk some sense into her. You are the only thing tormenting her heart. Only you can save her. As long as you are willing to forgive her, she will do anything you ask. I looked at her tear-streaked face and found it only ironic. 5 years ago, she urged me to leave her daughter because I did not know my place. 5 years later, she came begging me to return to her daughter's side because only I could save her. What exactly was I, Li Chuan, in their eyes? Something they could summon and dismiss at will. Slowly, I pried her fingers off mine, one by one. Mrs. Gu. I looked into her eyes and spoke clearly, one word at a time. First, I have been married for a long time. I have my own family and child. I am happy. I could never, for anyone, hurt my wife and child. Second, Gu Qinghan's current fate is not because of me. It is because of her own stupidity, suspicion, and irresponsibility. She caused this tragedy, as did your Gu family. Third, whether she lives or dies has nothing to do with me. I am not a savior, nor am I obligated to save someone who once hurt me so deeply. So please do not disturb me again. With that, I stood up. Without another glance at her, I turned and left. At the door, I heard her desperate cries behind me. I did not turn back. The Gu family's tragedy began the moment they chose profit and schemes over trust and love. It was already inevitable, and in my own world, I had long since found a new life.